So we've looked at a few scales so far, focused on the scales that contain sharp notes. Major and minor scales have sharps or flats built into them, never both. And in total, we have 24 scales in Western music. Can you think why it's 24? How many distinct notes do we have in what we call Western music?
12.
12, no. So in what we would call a chromatic scale, a scale that plays all the notes available to us, which isn't really a scale, so to speak. Chromatic just means colourful. Chroma means colour in Greek. So this isn't really a scale. This is just the way we talk about playing all notes, all the notes in an octave. So if we play all the notes in an octave, a chromatic scale, we have 12 distinct notes, 7 natural notes and 5 sharps or flats. Between which notes do we not have a sharp or flat?
E and F and B and C.
Bravo, well done. Between B and C and D and F, we have only one half step. So B sharp, for example, can still exist. It's just the same tone as a C. And an F flat, for example, is the same tone as an E. So for each of those distinct notes, we have a minor and a major key, a minor and major scale based on it. Or in other words, a minor or major scale in which each note, each distinct note gets to be the tonic. In which each note gets to be number 1, the unit of counting through which we experience the music. So that's 24 scales in total, as we have 12 distinct notes in Western music. We have learned how to move between major and minor keys, say from A minor to A major, altering the 3rd, 6th and 7th degrees of the scale. So, for example, if I tell you that F major has 1 flat, a B flat, you can tell me the notes of F minor. So first, what are the notes of F major, which has B flat in it?
Right, yeah. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F.
F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So to go from F major to F minor, we'll need to lower the 3rd, 6th and 7th degrees a half step. So what notes does F minor have?
So F, G, A flat.
Well done.
B.
We had B flat already, no?
B flat, C, D, D flat, E flat, F.
Yes. We get F, G, A flat. We've lowered the major 3rd from A to a minor 3rd. B flat, the 4th, which is of course already flat in F major, and the 4th, the perfect 4th, is always the same in major and minor scales. Then C, the dominant, the perfect 5th, also the same in both major and minor scales. D flat, the minor 6th, which you lowered from D, and E flat, the minor 7th, which you lowered from E, the major 7th, and then finally back to F, the tonic. So we have learned to move between major and minor scales in this way, and we had also begun to find other related keys to whatever key we're working with. So far, we've seen that if we move up a perfect 5th from our launchpad keys of, what are our launchpad keys?
A minor and C minor.
A minor and?
C major, was it?
Yes, A minor and C major, which share the same notes in a different order. No, they have no sharps or flats, A minor and C major. So if we move up in perfect 5ths, we can add sharps as we go along to get the following scales. Or in other words, if we build a scale from the dominant, we get a very similar scale to the one we start with, only that one more note will have a sharp. So the dominant gives us a new domain, a new scale of the same mode, meaning that if we're in major, the dominant will give us a related major scale. If we're in a minor key, the dominant of that scale will give us a related minor key. So if I tell you the major key with 6 sharps is F sharp major, you can tell me which major key has 5 sharps. What note is F sharp a perfect fifth of?
B.
B. B major. So B major is the major key with 5 sharps in it. Now to find the minor key with 5 sharps in it, we can count 5 perfect fifths from A minor. No, but there is another route we can take too. What is the relationship between the notes A and C? What interval do we find between A and C?
A third.
What type of third?
Major third.
Think about it.
Can you clear that up? What makes it major and what makes it minor? Because that slipped out of my head right now.
What notes do A minor have?
The scale of A minor,
Yeah.
all without sharps or flats. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Great. So A to C will be what type of third? If we're in A minor and C belongs to A minor.
Well, I'd just have to guess because I don't know.
You do know. Because if we're in A minor, what third do we have in A minor?
A minor third.
Exactly. Which we change to a major third now if we want to find A major, for example. So this is the third in A minor, so it's a minor third. So between A and C, we have a minor third. So if we mimic the relationship between A minor and C major, this minor third, if we mimic that with other keys, we can find the corresponding key that contains the same notes in a different order, just like A minor and C major do. So if we know that B major has 5 sharps, to find the minor key with 5 sharps, we can move a minor third or 3 half steps below B. We are mimicking the relationship between C major and A minor. So what is the minor third or 3 half steps below B major? So 1 half step takes us to,
A sharp,
and another takes us to,
A,
and then the third half step takes us to
A flat, or G sharp.
G sharp. So G sharp minor also has 5 sharps. It's going to be G sharp and not A flat because we're looking at keys with sharps, no? So G sharp minor also has 5 sharps, just like B major. And we can double check our working always against the launchpad keys of A and C. G sharp is a half step below A and B is a half step below C. That all adds up. So we've successfully replicated the relationship between C major and A minor. So this is another way you can think your way around scales. We don't necessarily have to go back to the launchpad keys of A minor and C major and count in fifths. We can also look back at that relationship between A minor and C major, the minor third, and apply it to other keys. So what are the sharp notes of G sharp minor and B major, our keys with 5 sharps? So we know we find our series of sharps counting up in perfect fifths, starting with F sharp. So then we get?
So we'll have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp.
Bravo, that's it. Good. So we begin with F sharp and count in perfect fifths: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp. And the keys with 6 sharps in them also have which other note sharpened? We just need to move up another perfect fifth from A sharp.
So it'll be E sharp.
E sharp, no, which is the same note as, or the enharmonic equivalent of?
F.
F. Only in these keys, the keys that have E sharp, in these contexts, this note is playing the role of E, not of F. So for example, the major key with 6 sharps, a perfect fifth from B major, we have seen is F sharp major. So of course, E sharp cannot be an F here. F sharp is the tonic. What is the minor key with 6 sharps? What is a minor third or 3 half steps below F sharp major?
D sharp.
So D sharp minor and F sharp major, a minor third apart, just like A minor and C major, have all the same notes, but in a different order. What are these notes? Going from D sharp.
How many sharps are we going to have?
6. 6 sharps in this key, no? F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and E sharp.
So it's, if we're starting at D sharp, supertonic is E. No, it isn't. Can I say E? Can I say E sharp?
Yeah, of course.
E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp.
And back to D sharp. Well done. So the last natural note left in our scales with 6 sharps is B. B, of which F sharp, our first sharp, is a perfect fifth. No? So B is the last note to get sharpened, but it is the first note to get flattened. So if we apply for flat keys what we have just learned to source sharp keys, we can find our major and minor keys that have flats built into them. Now, we won't be moving upwards or forwards in perfect fifths anymore as we do when adding sharps, but downwards or backwards to add flats. So if we found the minor key, for example, with 1 sharp moving up a perfect fifth from A minor, to find the minor key with 1 flat, we'll drop a perfect fifth from A minor. And what note do we find dropping a perfect fifth from A?
D.
D. So D minor has 1 flat. So we'll drop a perfect fifth from A, from our launchpad key, with no sharps or flats, and we'll find D. So D minor, a perfect fifth below A minor, has 1 flat, a B flat. So in the same way that F sharp is the first note to be sharpened, our first note to be flattened is B, B flat. So D minor has 1 flat, B flat. The rest of the notes are natural notes. So what are the notes of D minor?
D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, and back to D.
Very good. So D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. So that's our minor key with 1 flat, D minor. What major key has all natural notes except for B flat?
E major,
How did you work that out?
going backwards 5 from B.
Why from B? So you will go back a perfect fifth from our launchpad keys, no? So we want to find the major key that has all natural notes apart from B flat. To find the name of that key, we're going to move a perfect fifth below our major launchpad key of C major, our key with no flats.
Okay, right. F.
So we now have a couple of ways of working that out, no? We could move a minor third up from D minor, no? Mimicking the relationship between A minor and C major. So a minor third from D is F, F major. Or we can count a perfect fifth down from C, our major scale with no flats. C to F, F major. So D minor and F major have 1 flat, B flat. We find these scales moving down a perfect fifth from our launchpad keys. So what are the next 2 keys? The next 2 scales with 2 flats in them if D minor and F major are the keys with 1 flat. Which keys have 2 flats?
B.
Okay, and the other one?
G.
So it's G minor and B flat major. Of course, it's B flat major because B is flattened in these keys. So we know a perfect fifth below F is B flat, even if we don't count the 7 half steps of a perfect fifth, because we know, of course, that B is flattened in these scales. So once we count down 5 letters, F, E, D, C, B, we know that B is flattened, B flat. So these keys G minor and B flat major have two flats in them. Of course, they contain B flat and what other flat? How might we find it? How might we find the next flat we will add to these keys from B flat?
Going another a fifth below B.
So we'll move back a perfect fifth from B flat, the same movement we are making to find these new scales. So what is 5 below B flat? 5 below B. We know the new note will be a flat note, of course, so this is just simple letter counting. We don't have to check if we have the 7 half steps of a perfect fifth. We just count down 5 letters from B.
E flat.
E flat. So G minor and B flat major have B flat and E flat. So what are the notes of G minor then?
So G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G.
Well done. G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, and back to G. So B flat in G minor is the third degree, otherwise known as, what's the name we give to this scale degree, the third degree of the scale? Not the tonic or the supertonic, but
The median.
the median. Minor in minor scales and major in major scales, just like the 6th and the 7th. What are the 6th and 7th degrees of G minor, our key with B flat and E flat?
E and F.
Our key with B flat and E flat?
Yeah, E flat. E flat and F.
E flat and F. So what are the 6th and 7th degrees of G major if E flat and F are the 6th and 7th degrees of G minor?
E and F sharp.
E and F sharp, well done. E and F sharp. So if G minor is G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, what is G major? So take your time to think this through, but you can begin and think at the same time, you know? So just go through the notes, and then when you get to one that you think should be raised, if you're thinking as you go through them, you should realize in the moment. So you can just begin.
G, A. Now B.
Well done. You raised the minor third. No, B flat to B, making a major third.
C, D, E, F. F sharp, sorry.
And then back to
G.
well done. So the more we think our way around scales in this way, the more we'll be presented with things that we already know. And thus, this panorama of scales and keys will become forever more familiar and finite. We've just found the major key with 1 sharp, a perfect fifth away from C major, G major. G, a perfect fifth forward from C, giving us 1 sharp, F sharp. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G.